I think the battle at the end with oh shoot.
Oh!
I just like the you fight a bad guy at the end. Yeah. I really like how that turned out too.
All right, well, welcome everyone to Forged in Aeternum, the show where we talk about all things New World. I'm James Huang, narrative designer for New World, and I'm joined today by Brian and Valeriia. You guys want to introduce yourselves?
I'm Brian Patenaude, season's art lead, and including season 4.
Hey, I'm Valeriia, and I'm environment artist on seasons team.
Total rock stars. And today we're going to be talking about the story for season 4, Eternal Frost. So season 4, in New World in general, I'd say we've met a handful of characters from King Artorias' court. And in season 4, I think we have a lot of fun diving into the story of one particular knight of the Round Table who had a falling out with King Artorias during the Wars of Crimson Madness. Extra points if you guys know what listeners at home, if you know what that is. And so he's doing everything in his power to take down everything that Artorias loved. Humanity, puppies, snowflakes. No, I don't know. Anyway, so we're chasing him across Aeternum as he tries to recover these powerful artifacts that were used a long time ago by one of the ancients to create Amara, or in their attempts to create Amara, which are basically like trying to deify regular human beings and give them godlike powers. So we go into some pretty fun and unique locations, I'd say, in season 4. So if you guys want to share maybe what some of the favorites that you worked on were?
Yeah, without going into too much detail or spoiling, I suppose I worked on a lot of the different quests and everything, but quest 6 was pretty special to me. I got that off the ground, and there was a big traversal section where we were able to kind of dive into one of the existing locations in the world and get more gameplay out of it. Instead of just a facade and the vista, we get to kind of get up and interact with it, and it leads us to a new location, and I won't go into any more details than that.
Well, so quest 6 is basically where it's towards the end of the storyline where you're trying to chase after this knight of the Round Table, and he's I don't want to spoil anything either, but but I think one of the things that I liked about that we talked about before is that you're basically you're breathing new life into an existing location in Great Cleave. Can I spoil that? I think that's okay. Yeah. And made it really fun.
Yeah, I really enjoy it because it's just, again, it's something you pass by in last season. Now it's integral to the actual game.
Yeah, and I feel like there's just so many places in Aeternum that, like, the corners of the map that like some adventures are out there exploring, but like. It's cool because, like, they can be, I've been there before, or like, I didn't know this was like this up here. So
yeah, it's always fun.
Cool.
It's fun finding new purpose, and like the entrance to 5 as well. Just making use of that nice sort of composition and that area. So what are your favorites?
I just like you worked in multiple areas, but most of the time I spent on Daichi quest. Like
So Daichi Saito is a new member of the Silver Crows that we recruit in this storyline, and he's really fun. I think this is like my personal passion area is like the Japanese feudal era. This is like the fun of Aeternum, I think, is because we can bring all these really interesting historical, groups and cultures into our stories. Like, King Arthur. In the same storyline, we have someone from King Artorias' court, and then also someone from the Japanese feudal era. That's really fun.
It's awesome to have so few sort of constraints. And yeah, Popova did a fantastic job in the quest.
Yeah.
I really like how it turns out, especially in the beginning of the quest. No spoilers, of course. But after you enter the area, you get into another one, which is quite different comparing to the rest of the quest. And I think this is what I like the most, because it still fits the Aeternum as in the world, but it's a little bit different. And it portrays the character, Daichi, really nice and unique way.
Yeah, I think so, and I think we can talk a little bit about the detail of that space to make it like people don't know what we're talking about. So we get actually an invitation to Daichi's dojo. And so, like, I think, you did just knocked it out of the park with that one. Like, I didn't even realize that we could do.
Yeah,
like,
I know.
we were asking for, hey, we'd like to have a dojo. Like, I was just picturing, like, it'll just be like this, like wooden blocks Jenga kind of thing.
Yeah,
but
she killed it.
And I decided to turn it on maximum.
Yeah. And it gives for its variety to season 4 as well. I mean, obviously we're indexing on the Frost sort of aesthetic and everything, but I think that really mixed it up, and it was a lot of fun to get the variety in.
Yeah, and I should say that we're actually recruiting him partly because he happens to have really powerful fire magic. Like, so he's a Ronin that came to Aeternum, and like once he got to Aeternum, he studied at a fire temple on Aeternum and learned fire magic. So I think we're recruiting him for that. So that's the tie-in to the to the Frost element.
And that reminds me of the third quest as well. Like that was it came out of nowhere. It's amazing, and I'm super excited to get everyone in there.
Yeah. So I feel like we can get into that a little bit as well. The details. I don't want to spoil everything, but so in our in that part of the story, basically, we're going after one of the artifacts that a king has recovered, and it's such a powerful artifact that it's centered on the power of frost, so that it's driven him mad, but it's also sort of iced over his entire domain. Like it's basically, you guys created like an amazing island of ice, essentially.
Credit to Terza.
Thank you.
Yeah.
What's your favorite area within that island?
I really liked the approach. I think she did a bang-up job there. So many aspects of it, honestly. And again, I don't know. I guess they can cut it. Start spoiling it, which I'm known to do. But the approach to the castle, the traversal up and in, and it's just it was from scratch and in such a short amount of time, and it turned out great.
It looks amazing.
Yeah.
I think we've got a lot of the people who've been playtesting even in house are just like, wow, like I'd like to hang out here.
Yeah.
If I could.
Charge them a ticket fee or something.
Or in real life, I'd like to hang out in some of these things.
Yeah, I know.
How about you, Valeriia? Was your favorite space on that island?
On the island, it's probably inside of the castle.
The room that you worked in.
Yeah, of course, the room I worked on. But not only, I actually really like the throne area.
Right, yeah.
I really like the lighting there, and just in general, the whole stuff is happening there. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I have a question, like, for you guys. So, like, and sorry, totally didn't prepare you. But when we say something like, hey, we'd love to have a space where like this or that event happens, right? Like, how do you guys even get started on like what to do?
Well, if we're lucky enough, I always when we can manage concept, it's nice. We always fight for it, and we get less than we'd like. But as far as the new spaces, it's one of my downfalls too. Is I love so many of the ideas that you guys come up with that it's hard for me to start making cuts.
Oh yeah.
I was sort of like, hey, keep it in scope
you
and everything.
Enjoyed that.
No. I'm like, I fucking love all of these, and I want to do them all. And so it's a balancing act, trying to keep everyone happy, and also just building helping realize you guys' visions from the narrative perspective. I don't know if I answered your question.
No, but like, what sparks your creativity? I mean, would you take a shower?
I think never. No, I think pulling rough too. Like I've traveled a bit, and it's always fun to kind of pull reference and ideas from that. So I don't know. I think it really depends on what exactly the location is.
In any of the season stories, is there any places
from
your travels that like...
My head just went to the castle in Salzburg, which I just love. So
that's cool.
Yeah, and like some of the areas on the castle on the island and everything kind of reminded me of that as far as the open vistas and everything.
Oh, nice.
So everything is inspiration.
How about you? Where do you get inspiration?
I'm getting inspiration from the story behind you put it. So I read quite a lot what exactly you put in the character. I'm trying to kind of reflect their I don't know, their character into the environment around. This is what happened with Daichi, for example, because
I totally get that. Yeah.
in terms of the dojo, he's a traveler. It is his place. He's training there. Sometimes he's, growing his little bonsai tree.
Yeah.
But in general, he's not really spending a lot of time there. So you are supposed to notice it, and this is the reason why I made it. I'm not sure. Can I share it?
No, I think it's okay. Yeah.
So I decided to make it like overgrown area because he doesn't really have a lot of time to spend there, but because Aeternum is huge. So he's just like our players traveling around fighting.
Yeah, no, I love that. And like I feel like, the work that you guys do adds back into the story. Really.
Especially now that you mentioned the dojo, I really appreciated the amount of like effort and like story and everything that it's just sort of cyclical, how the idea comes back and it sort of enhances over time.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, so I have another question for you guys. Like, what's a favorite story, part of the story, or favorite character that you have that we've told so far in seasons?
I think the battle at the end with oh shoot.
Oh.
I just like the you fight a bad guy at the end. Yeah. I really like how that turned out too, and I got that off the ground, and Carlos took it over, and he just really it's so fun. And sorry, this is indexing more on the environment than the character. I really love the character, but just when you hit a place, and I had to go off and do this and that, and they kind of like. They take it and run with it, and the collaboration I just love.
Yeah.
Because it was just took it to this level, and then he pushed it further. So yeah, I guess I love that.
No, I agree with you. No, like the back and forth that we have on our team between narrative and art is just awesome. I think like we just feed each other. Like, what about this? Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah.
And then Popova and Terza went into like the part of Quest 6 too. And just hit it with like some of the decor and the lighting and the VFX and everything, and I don't know.
Yeah, it's a collective work.
How about you, Valeriia?
I would agree with Brian about like the last part of the season, but I also really like the location prior to that.
Right.
Because it's so deep. It's so amazing.
Yeah. All right, well, that pretty much brings us to our community question, and I'd like to ask you guys if you could see more of any given character that's been introduced in season so far, which one would that be? Thanks so much, you guys. We've had a lot of fun here with you. If you like the show, please like it and subscribe, and we'll see y'all in the next one.
See you in Aeternum.
See ya.
See you in Aeternum. Oh, yeah, thank you.
We got a big group of people here because today is a special day. We are almost to the date, 1 year of filming Forge and Aeternum. That's over 50 episodes, probably over 60, we didn't count.